guys, welcome back to SnapBack2Lyfe. Um, so you probably are like, what is Snapback2Lyfe and what is this podcast about? My name is Kayla. I'm 28 years old, and for the past 5 years, going on 6, I have been dealing with a process called dialysis. It's where I need a machine to help filter out the toxins from my body either every night or 3 times a week. When I first started, I started off doing a treatment called peritoneal dialysis, and that process was required me to do dialysis every night, and it was in like the height of the pandemic. So it was a lot. It was a lot. But um going through that, and then I had to switch the type of treatment that I currently do now, which is called hemodialysis. And I am from Metro Detroit area. I was born in Baltimore, but brought me back to the D.
How old are you?
I'm I'm 28.
What are some of your hobbies and interests? What do you like to do?
So some of my hobbies and interests include going to concerts, going to museums. Um I really like I really like the arts, so I like going to plays. I like going to see new exhibits at the museum. I like karaoke. Um yeah, I'm a thespian at heart.
Okay. What do you like to binge watch?
I like to y'all, please don't mind me because my mom is asking me these questions, so it's just funny because she already know I like to binge watch. But I love to binge watch um Grey's Anatomy. That's my judge, okay. And then I also like to binge watch Survivor and Americans Amazing Race. Because I want to travel, like I want to travel like the world, okay. Because of my health conditions, I haven't been able to, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get to Egypt. My biggest trip I want to go on, I want to go to Greece. I want to have a whole Mamma Mia trip. I want to go to Greece, do it all, like go to Aspens, all of that. So yeah, I really would like to go to Greece in the future.
What is your educational background?
So I have a certificate in hospital pharmacy technology. I'm sorry, hospital pharmacy technician. Um, that's what I went to college for. My certificate is been expired, but that's what I went to college for, was hospital pharmacy technician, and I haven't been in that career for a while now, for some years. But maybe I'll go back to that. Maybe I will find a new venture and a new career path, but I don't know. I like to kind of stick with what I know. So that's probably the career path that I'll go back to after I get transplanted.
So, how have the things that you've been through influenced some of your career interests?
To be honest, after I'm over and done with this, I don't want to see another hospital, another clinic for a long time. Okay, if I can help it.
Well, there you have it. Okay. Tell us about your family.
So I live with my amazing mother. She's an angel sent down from heaven herself. And my two younger brothers. I'm my mom's oldest. So I have two younger brothers, but they act like they're my older brothers, but they not. They know who the boss is. But yeah, and then they're a great help, when I'm sick or I'm not feeling good. They're really always by my side and coming to my rescue. And then I have my grandparents, which they're a help too, but they're older. So it's kind of like they're limited to, what they can help with and what they can't help with. But yeah, we're a tight group, but we're a small group, but we're a tight group.
And how has dialysis impacted your life?
So dialysis has impacted my life greatly. It's impacted my family's life greatly. Um, just seeing me be so sick at sometimes. I know that it's hard for them, and it's hard for me because I'm going through it. But I feel like the worst thing about it for me is looking at my mom's face or looking at my brother's face when I'm like sick or in the hospital. And that is really like heartbreaking for me because it's like I can be doing good one moment and then I can turn around and be not to be morbid, but knocking on death's door. So it's very touch and go at times. Right now it's good, but it's it's always a revolving door. So right now we're doing good, and I thank God that we're doing good. But it's always that precaution of, okay, when is the tables gonna turn? You know,
What keeps you grounded throughout this process?
my family. My family definitely keeps me grounded. My faith keeps me grounded, even though I feel like a lot of times I feel like my faith is being tested. Um, but that really keeps me grounded, and it keeps me pushing, and it keeps me knowing that this is not how my story ends. This is not the end of Kayla. This is just a trial and a tribulation that I had to go through in order to be the necessary me that I needed to be, and to do what God has called me to do.
So, what role advice would you give to new dialysis patients?
Mm, it's scary. It's scary when you get that diagnosis because it feels like not like not to be morbid again, but it feels like a death sentence. Like it feels like, oh my God, like I have to depend on this machine or these machines for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to have a life. I'm not going to be able to do anything. But I am slowly realizing that dialysis is not a death sentence, and you can live a thriving, well-rounded life. You just have to work around your circumstances. You just have to um tweak and modify things around you and what you need, but you can still basically do the same things that you want to do. Like how I said, I want to travel. I'm learning that I can do that as a dialysis patient. I think I'm just a little timid and afraid to, but if I really wanted to, I could seek those options out. So it's just like I said, it's scary when you get the news, and it definitely feels like, okay, this is the end. But if you make the best out of your situation, then there's nothing that can stop you.
What led you to start this podcast?
So I started the podcast. I'm gonna be honest. I know why I started the podcast, but then at the same time, I don't, because I'm a very private person. Those who know me know that I'm very private about like my personal business, about like my health and everything like that. So for me to publicly come out and be like, this is what I'm going through, this is what this looks like, and you can push through it. I was on deep reserve about it because I don't like people in my business. So but something kept telling me that this is needed, and that I had to step outside of me and my feelings. I had to step outside of what I thought about it, and thought, if I was back when I got diagnosed, if I saw somebody openly talking about this and openly, giving valuable information about what I might go through mentally, what I might go through physically, what I might go through just on a day-to-day basis, it would have made me feel a lot better. It would have made me feel like I wasn't in solitude about this. And I feel like a lot of times younger people going through this, it's like, okay, this is just me, and I'm the only one going through this. And that's not true. There are other people just like me that are going through this. It's just not as vocalized. And that's the sad part, that it's not as vocalized as it should be. Knowing the statistics around Black and brown young people going through dialysis, going through diabetes, going through lupus, is it's very disheartening to know that we aren't talking about the situations we are currently going through. It's like we want to wait till we have a miracle, or we want to wait till we get a treatment, or we want to wait till we get a transplant to be like, oh yeah, I had a transplant so and so years ago. And then they be like, then you have people be like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know you were sick. And that's the thing, like, if you saw me walking down the street, you would not know what I go through on a day-to-day basis. I would look like a regular smuggler young female, until you got to know my story. You would not really know what I go through. And that's the thing about diseases that you can't physically see, is that I feel like a lot of times people look at somebody and they're like, oh, they're fine, they're up and they're walking. You don't know what mental strain that person had to go through to get up and walk around. You don't know what mental strain that person had to go through just to get up and get dressed that morning. So it's like, for me, it's a lot of, it's a bigger mental battle than it is a physical battle. Don't get me wrong, because I am physically sick, yes, I go through physical things on a day-to-day basis, but I honestly rather go through those physical things 10 times over than some of the mental strain that this has caused me in my life, because it's not fun. But I'm here to tell you, you can get over it. And don't beat yourself up too much, because I feel like I beat myself up a little bit because I'm like, oh, I'm young, I can still do this, I can still do that. And it's just like, nah, shorty, you got to sit down. Or it's like, oh, I want to go and walk around to the park. Yeah, no, your blood should go drop. But I can get there. I can slowly get there. It just takes a little bit more time, and that's okay. I have to learn. I have to run my own race. I can't look around and look at other people and their circumstances and compare themselves to myself. I really have to take the time to really just give myself grace, I guess.
So, where do you find the, where do you draw that strength from and the perseverance to keep going?
Honestly, I draw it from my mom. I draw a lot of my strength from my mom, and I don't want to get emotional on here, but I draw the strength from her, because it's like, I don't have kids, but I know that it hurts her to see me hurting. So I can only imagine to be her in her shoes, and to know she can't really do anything but be there for me emotionally. Like, if she could, she would switch shoes with me any day. She would switch circumstances with me any day. But she can't. So I feel like that in itself is power and strength, just to know she mentally endures what I am enduring, but on a different level. So I get a lot of my strength from my mom, and she's sitting right across from me.
Okay, we're gonna switch it up a little bit, okay? Before we cry, okay. You find a Latin friend. You get 3 wishes. What would they be?
One wish would be, to not have any more bills, like to not to not to not I'm getting there, and I would explain my reasonings. One would be to not have any more bills, to not have to worry about not a gas bill, not a grocery bill, no more bills. Like, everything is covered from here on out. That would be wish number one. Wish number two would be to send my mother on a all expense paid trip to wherever she wanted to go. Like, it don't, the Maldives, Dubai, I don't care. Like, that would be wish number 2. Wish number 3, I guess wish number 3 would be a kidney. But okay, I'm gonna say why wish number 3 isn't a kidney, because getting a kidney is scary. Like, and then I'm a type of person where I like patterns. Like, I'm in the pattern of dialysis. I've been in that pattern for years now. So I think the scariest part about it after I get a kidney is, where is my pattern gonna go? Like, what does my new pattern look like? And since I don't know what that looks like, that is what is terrifying for me. And I know that aspect is terrifying for a lot of people in my situation, because you get in a groove, and once you get in that groove, it's like, okay, I'm used to this. I'm okay with this. But transplant is a whole nother aspect. It's a whole nother monster. It's a whole nother set of rules and guidelines that you have to learn and abide by. So I guess I'm a little afraid of the unknown. I will be thankful, and I will be very blessed to get a kidney, but I'm not gonna sit up and say that's not scary for me, because it is.
Favorite color.
Purple.
Favorite singer. Hers.
Fantasia, Tamar Braxton, Minnie Riperton. That's a hard question, because I got a lot. I got a lot of favorite singers. I got like a top 10, and then I got like a genre. That's a hard question.
Okay. All right. Favorite music genre.
R&B, but not like this new "Nobody Knows Me Like You Do." No, I'm a '90s R&B neo soul type of shit.
Okay. Favorite food.
Mm, it's a toss up between Chinese food and Italian food, because I like pasta and rice. So
Favorite holiday.
Christmas. I love Christmas. I'm a December baby. I love Christmas.
Favorite sport.
Football.
Favorite animal.
Oh, a horse.
Okay. Kayla, if you were a pizza, what kind of pizza would you be?
If I was a pizza, if I was a pizza, I would probably be a New York slice, like one of them big giant New York slices with the thin crust, but it's crunchy at the same time. Yeah.
And
But that's because I'm small in stature, but my personality is very, very big.
And if you could give the world a gift, what would it be?
If I could give the world a gift, what would it would be health. It would be health for everybody, because health is wealth. At the end of the day, if you got $1 million, but you dying tomorrow, what is the point of having that $1 million? Like, so you can live out your last day to the fullest, and you can't even live out your last day to the fullest. Even if you was dying tomorrow, you couldn't even do that for real. So health is wealth at the end of the day. I would definitely give um everybody the gift of health, whether it be mental or physical.
What would you say has been the most challenging part of creating content for this podcast?
My schedule, because I'm on hemodialysis, so I go 3 times a week, and it's like it's hard enough getting myself up and getting ready for the clinic. So it's like I kind of don't have energy to really create content. That's why I kind of pick and choose when I record, but I would like to do more, maybe like get ready with me for the clinic, or like me just going out on a regular day to see what that consists of. It's very hard because I be tired. I be tired, and then I like to walk around with no clothes on. So, so I be tired and I be naked. So it's hard getting content, and this is not an R-rated show. Okay. This is PG-13 all day. So yeah, that's probably the most hardest thing about getting content. I'm trying my hardest, you guys, but it is just me. So I try to like post little funny posts on our TikTok or like our Instagram. But I definitely have to do better when it comes to posting, and I will try. I'm gonna make a schedule, because being sick is a 9 to 5 in itself. If anybody out there know who got chronic illnesses, being sick is a full-time job. First of all, I'm a type 1 diabetic. So I have to make sure my sugar is right every day. I have to make sure my my pump and my continuous glucose monitor is doing good. And sometimes they be acting wacky. So that takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to really adjust and fix. So it's always up and down. It's constantly up and down. Or it's my blood pressure, so it's it's a lot. But I will try to create a schedule for me to really try to get more content out there available for you guys, because I know you guys want to see more. It's just my time isn't limited, but it's limited, if that makes sense.
Okay. Um, so you talked about your pump and the diabetes, and how has medical technology changed your life?
Oh my goodness. Medical technology got me out here looking like a robot, baby. Okay. And you see me, and I got like a cyborg thing on my arm, or I got something on my leg, or something on my abdomen. Just know that's my pump, or that's my continuous glucose monitor, which I did not have that stuff available to me as a young diabetic. there were pump systems, but they weren't how they are now. Like they had tubes and cords. I have a tubeless pump. I could swim if I wanted to. I don't know how to swim, but I could learn how to swim now because I got a tubeless pump, so I don't even have to worry about it. um I can take a whole bath without having to worry, oh my god, my pump gonna be submerged and I gotta change it. Like it's definitely advanced. Now, if they could just narrow it down to a pill, I would love that. I would love for diabetes medicine to just narrow it down to a pill, like how type 2 diabetes have just a pill to take. Or, yeah, because the pump is nice, but sometimes I be forgetting it's going to expire. And so I'll wait like to the very last minute, and then it's just like beeping and chirping and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, I got to change this thing. But it's definitely less of an inconvenience than it is to like actually draw up insulin or take a pen every time I eat, where I can just use a controller and put in my information and then it's just automatic. So medical technology has definitely come far. I like I said, I hope it continues to go further. uh if they just have like a patch in the future, or like I said, a pill, that would be great.
Okay. And if if you could um change one thing about your uh learning about dialysis or how it's taught, what would it be?
I feel like for me at my clinic, I feel like I was thoroughly taught, like even switching the type of treatment that I went from doing the peritoneal to the hemo. I feel like I was taught very well by my health team. What I would change is the education on transplant. I feel like they are changing things at a few hospitals, but I feel like it's a lot of information. Like dialysis is a lot of information. But I feel like during the workup, I feel like they don't focus on certain aspects long enough. Like they don't focus on the post, what your life might look like after transplant. I feel like they should definitely have like some type of committee or some type of volunteer or advocate to really come in and talk to the patients about what things may look like for you after your transplant. I had to go out and seek out options on my own through social media. But um and even with that, it's still like, well, will this happen to me? And you have to kind of go back and ask your transplant team, will I need this type of infusion after transplant? Will I need this type of medication after transplant? And they don't know because everybody is different. But I feel like they should bring the subject up so that, because I like to be prepared. Like even if the worst don't happen to me, I like to be prepared for the worst so that when the worst does happen, it's not a complete shock to me. That's just how my brain works. So I feel like I said, like some type of advocate or some type of um post transplant, which they have a post transplant team, don't get me wrong. But I feel like they should talk about that prior to you getting transplanted, if that makes sense. So that you are more prepared. Like me and my guests in a previous episode were talking about the insurance changes with after your transplant. I feel like that should definitely be something prioritized during the transplant workup, because after you get transplanted, yes, you have prior to me that I could have been getting ready for an insurance check. I could have been putting something away, in case my insurance changes drastically, or in case I don't have any coverage in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's hard, and I feel like they should really prioritize things like that.
Do you have any summer plans?
Mm, Not really, because I don't really like the heat like that. Now, if Afro Nation come back to Detroit, oh, I'm going. I'm going. I'm bringing ice packs. I'm gonna have a whole cooler suit. I'm I'm going. Okay, like wherever it's at, I'm going. I'm going to Afro Nation. Okay, because it was lit. Okay, um, but I really don't have a lot of summer plans because I don't really like the heat like that. Like me and the heat not friends. So, but I like the heat a little bit more now because I don't get as hot. Like I'm anemic, so I get very cold. So it has to be like at least 80 to 85 degrees for me to really be warm. And we live in Michigan, and it's only like a month, really a month and a half, where it's like that warm. I don't really know what this summer is going to look like, but I'm planning on it to be the regular type of Michigan weather. So I don't know. I don't really have plans for the summer.
So, what upcoming plans do you have for the spring?
So, we plan on going to the National Kidney Foundation's kidney walk here in Detroit at the Detroit Zoo. That will be May 18th. If you guys want to join or support my team, I will greatly appreciate it. I will leave the link in the description. And yeah, it is here in Detroit at the Detroit Zoo on May 19th, 2024. And if you guys just want to come out and support and have a nice day at the zoo, come out and support and see your girl and see SB2L. And come and walk at the zoo with us, supporting kidney awareness in National Kidney Foundation.
So, what upcoming plans does SnapBack2Lyfe have?
So, SnapBack2Lyfe, I really want to, like, my future, where I see SnapBack2Lyfe going. I really see it being like a whole organization. That is my main goal with this platform, to really bring awareness to and to advocate for young black and brown chronically ill patients. I know that I am going through dialysis. That is my chronic illness and my chronic illness journey. But prior to this, I was a type 1 diabetic. That is also another chronic illness. There are people out here that have lupus. That is a chronic illness. There are people out here that has multiple sclerosis. That is another chronic illness. And they are young just like me. And I feel like they need a platform to really voice their concerns and their opinions about their health coming from peer to peer influences. Because I know for me being a young diabetic, um it was very hard, and I did not feel like I had anybody to look up to or to look towards. Um but I'm here to uplift and talk to any young diabetic, any young lupus patient, any young asthmatic, any young MS person. I will try to find resources for those chronic illnesses that I am not aware of, more so. And I will also try to have guests that are dealing or have dealt with those type of illnesses and ailments. So that's really where I see Snapback to Life going in the future. I really want to create a advocacy program for, like I said, young black and brown um chronically ill patients. Guys, engage, comment, like, share, and subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. Um, but yeah, maybe you guys can kind of leave me some questions in the comments, and I will do another video, answering some of those questions. But this time I just kind of wanted to give you a little information about myself and Snapback to Life podcast. And yeah, so come in and enjoy this journey with me, because it's that's all it is. It's a journey. To life, back to reality. Okay, to life, back to reality. To life.